Okay, hello everybody, welcome to episode 4 of TubeMix's album reviews ReCut, and today we're going to be reviewing the album Superwombling by the Wombles. So it's the second of, albums by children's TV characters, because before Bob, there were the Wombles, and they were sort of, playing the same music as the glam rock scene, people like Slade and Shawaddy Waddy and the Rubettes and people like that. So if you like that, I think you're going to really love this album. Mike Batt, a hugely respected songwriter for discovering Katie Melua and working with people like David Essex, Art Garfunkel, and many great people. And of course he actually wrote the musical The Hunting of the Snark, which featured the song The Snooker Song, which was sung by Captain Sensible, later to be used as the theme to the BBC's Big Break. So yes, really great songwriter and some really good songs. So yeah, let's jump in. Oh, and you know what I'm going to say. Run the titles. So track 1 is called The Womble Shuffle, and it's very catchy. One thing to say about it is it has harmonica on it, which for the Wombles is not really an instrument with, glam rock or pop that you would associate with, as I said, the Wombles, this type of music. And I don't think it needs the harmonica, to be honest. I mean, I don't mind harmonica. But yeah, I don't think this track needs it at all. And also, I forgot to mention, this is the Wombles' fourth and final studio album. It was 1975. Yeah, 1975. And yes, and this is the track that opens the album. Is it one I'd revisit? Yes, I think I would, but like I said, I don't think it needs harmonica on it. But I do love Mike Batt's voice, such a great voice, and even in his 70s now, if you look at videos or audio of him performing, he's still got that youthful voice. So yeah, that's absolutely fantastic, and Mike is just such a great performer, and people are actually realizing now the Wombles music is actually, this is quite good, because in the 70s, when you had Slade and Shawaddy Waddy and the Rubettes and Wizard and people like that, well, the Wombles, people sort of turned away from them because they thought they were cringy and daft and not superior to, not in the same league as all the other acts. But people have come to realise now that the Wombles music is actually quite good, and there's some really good songs, and that Mike Batt is quite good. So great to see the Wombles getting a lot of love again. Right, let's move on to track 2. Track 2 is called The Myths and Legends of King Merton Womble and His Journey to the Centre of the Earth. Yes, it's a mouthful, and goodness me, making the titles for the track listing with such a long title was, I was like, damn you, Bat. But it's a really epic track. Well, it's quite funny, actually, because it's very dramatic for a Wombles track, really. It's almost like a mini rock opera, musical sort of concept album. You know, call it whatever you like. And it's actually based on apparently on Rick Wakeman's concept albums, and about the legends and myths of King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table, and the other one was Journey to the Centre of the Earth. So yeah, it's a parody of those two. And yeah, there's a choir on here. There's brass. It's very dramatic. In fact, well, funnily enough, it actually reminded me a little bit of the Floral Dance, made famous, of course, by the late great and much missed Sir Terry Wogan, and also done by Julie Andrews as well, and many people. I'm sure you know that one. So yeah, if you do know that one, I think you'll get what I mean. Yes, it's a really strange track, but it is a really good track actually, and Mike Batt's voice actually seems to suit pretty much every genre. I mean, on this album we have barbershop harmony, we have blues, we have rock / pop, and we have just trying to think. Well, we have lots of genres anyway, and yeah, his voice just seems to suit every one of them like a glove. Right, let's move on to the next track. Track 3 is called Down at the Barbershop, and as you imagine from the title, it's the Wombles basically doing a barbershop quartet. And my goodness, Mike Batt, well, he's the only one credited for vocals on this album, so I presume it is him. But my goodness, wow, he can hit high notes. Whether he still can, I'm not sure, but certainly through here, because yeah, he definitely, well, I suppose it helps that he has quite a naturally high voice anyway. But yeah, well, it's almost a little bit Beach Boys-esque. I don't know, which is not something you'd be looking for a barbershop quartet, but no, I got sort of a very Beach Boys, maybe in the harmonies as well. I mean, yeah, I don't know, but yes, it's a very interesting track. Would I revisit it? No, I'm not sure I would, and generally I'm not a fan of barbershop quartets at all. I don't know why, they've just never really done it for me. But yeah, this is a good track actually. But yeah, I'm not sure I'd revisit it. Oh, and by the way, each track on the album is basically contains a description of you know, what it means to the Wombles, and what. Yeah, I suppose it's a bit hard to explain, but that's what I imagine it would be. So the Womble Shuffle, track 1 says, in which everybody shuffles. Track 2, let me just get that up for you. So just hold on a moment. Just get it for you now. Okay, right. Yes, in which Wellington imagines the round knights of the table, and down at the barbershop it says, in which we meet the Wumbling barbershop quartet, which makes sense. Yes, so there's basically descriptions of basically what's the Wombles are thinking or what they're imagining. My base is just a bit all. Maybe it's to get people better ideas on why the songs are on the album. I don't know, but anyway, there's descriptions for every track. Right, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so track 4 is called The Empty Tiny Bag Blues. So if you're a fan of the Wombles, you'll definitely know that the Wombles like to pick up litter, and because presumably everyone's collected the litter, then they have the Empty Tiny Bag Blues. So yes, it's a pretty good one. Mike Batt puts a bit of grit actually onto his voice for this one. And it's got harmonica, and actually the harmonica works well here because it's, you know, generally in blues music, you often have harmonicas, don't you? I mean, Paul Jones, former singer Manfred Mann and Radio 2 presenter, used to present a blues show and plays the harmonica as well. I think Joe Bonamassa might, although I'm not sure if he's well, I know he plays the guitar. Does he play the harmonica? I'm not sure, but he is certainly a blues musician. He is most certainly a blues musician. So yeah, I'm not really keen on on blues music, but yeah, it's a good track. Would I revisit this one? No, probably. Probably not, but still, it's a good album and you can't expect to like all the tracks. Right, let's move on. Okay, track 5 is called Wumbling White Time Tells, and it was actually used 2 years later in the 1977 film Wumbling 3. And it's basically the Wombles dreaming if they were film stars, such as Fred Astaire, who's mentioned in the song actually, or Gene Kelly or someone like that. And yeah, we get a tiny tap solo, and it's definitely a memorable song. It definitely, it won't get out of your head. It's really, really good song. I'm not sure if it was released as a hit in the UK. I can't remember if it did chart, but it certainly deserves to, because it's a really, really good song. It's quite a weird mix actually of glam rock pop and sort of big band jazz swing, which is two genres you wouldn't really expect to work well together. But no, I think for this song they do, and as I said, you know, Mike Batt's voice I think suits every single genre. The other genres I forgot, sorry, was reggae and James Bond themes, and I think that's all of them. Yeah, so the ones that I mentioned, and yeah, reggae and James Bond themes. So yes, would I revisit this song? Yes, definitely. I think I would. It like I said, it'll get stuck in your head, and that's a good indication for a song that it's memorable. Then that it gets stuck in your head. Right, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so track 6 is called Superwombling, and it's the title track. As well, the album is called Superwombling, but I suppose it could count as a title track because it's basically the same, isn't it? Yeah, it's a really good song to drive to, actually, if you're in the car, and if you've got this on CD or vinyl even. It's a really good driving song. There's harmonica on this track, and it does suit it, actually. It's really good, actually. It's very catchy. By the way, I wondered if Wumbling White Time Tells, but wasn't so sure if it charted. Yes, it did. Got to number 7 in the UK singles chart, and yeah, and this one charted as well. And yeah, such a great, really good song, really catchy, and very memorable. And again, you know, that's what you want. You want a song for people to be singing it, or to have it stuck in their head, or to just simply remember it. It's yeah, it's a really, really great song, really fun one. And would I revisit it again? Yes, definitely. It's yes, it's a really good track, as I said. So yeah, in fact, it reminds me of, I think I'm just trying to think. I think it's a Led Zeppelin track, a little bit, which is not two bands you think of together, Led Zeppelin and the Wombles. I'm just trying to think, or was it? Is it a Faces one? Oh, never mind. Anyway, yeah, it's a great song, and yeah, I would definitely revisit it. Right, let's move on to the next one. Right, the next track is called Miss Adelaide. She's got a lot of knowledge, and Well, it's a reggae track. I did say there was some reggae on the album, and yeah, this is the track. And yeah, I know I've said it before, but you know, Mike Batt's voice seems to work with everything really. But yeah, this is a very good song. It's very catchy, very memorable. Again, yeah, it's one that will get instantly stuck in your head. It's a really, really great song. It gets a bit bonkers to the end because Miss Adelaide, she does sort of going from high to low, basically sort of warming up her voice, doing almost operatic sort of style. But yeah, it's a really fantastic track and a great track, and definitely one that I would revisit on this album. Right, let's move on to the next one. So the next track is called Wombles on Parade, and it's sort of a mix, well, of glam rock, pop, and marching band music, I suppose, would be the best way to describe it. It actually reminds me of Valinsky's The Clog Dance, actually, which is a great 70s instrumental track. So I'm sure if you know that one, you know what I mean. And there's actually a video of the Wombles dressed as guards of the Queen outside, well, not actually outside Buckingham Palace, but set to look like Buckingham Palace. In fact, that was actually recommended to me as I was watching it. YouTube, as I was listening to it, sorry, YouTube recommended it to me. Yes, it's a great track. It's memorable and definitely another one that will really get stuck in your head. So yeah, would I revisit it? Yes, I think I would. Right, let's move on. So the next track is called To Wimbledon with Love, and as you can imagine, it's a parody of To Russia with Love, which of course is the James Bond film and book and song. And in fact, it even quotes To Russia with Love, because of course the original lyric in To Russia with Love, I'll fly to you. And in this one, it's To Wimbledon with Love, I'll fly to you. Apart from that, though, it's not the same tune at all. However, it is a very good pastiche or parody of Bond, actually. And it's got the big dramatic sort of orchestral strings. It's a really good parody, actually. Just a really good song, actually. And you know, this is a really good album. There's so many good songs on this, and Mike Batt is just an amazing songwriter and performer. So yeah. Right, would I revisit this? Not sure. It's good. Would I revisit it? Don't think so. There's better tracks on the album, but it's still a good one. Right, let's move on. And so the final track is called Nashville Wombles, and if you like your country, then yeah, you're really gonna love this, actually. Sort of listening to this track, well, made me think of two tracks in particular. Johnny Cash's A Thing Called Love and Roger Miller's England Swings, and yeah, just that great beat of those, and well, maybe a bit of Kenny Rogers. I think it's the Gambler. It was certainly one of his tracks. I think that's the song I'm thinking of. Anyway, Mike Batt actually gets to do a bit of acting for this because he gets to put on a Nashville accent to sort of fit with the country theme. Yeah, it's quite funny, isn't it? Because obviously the Wombles from Wimbledon and London, and yeah, you don't really think of the Wombles in country music, but it's a good song, and it's really catchy, and it will stay stuck in your head. It's a really good song, and yeah, you definitely wouldn't forget it, and yeah, I think you'd often be singing it to yourself. And yeah, if you like country, then I think you're gonna really love this. So, would I revisit it again? Yes, I think I would, although I think I do love Miss Adelaide. She's got a lot of knowledge, because I like reggae, and the Womble Shuffle's pretty good. Superwombling is brilliant, and Wumbling White Time Tales, yeah, they'd be probably my top tracks. But yeah, it's a great album, and Mike Batt is someone who I think absolutely deserves respect because of the decades he's been in, because of all the different people he's worked with. And yeah, this is just so impressive to see, hear it's so impressive to hear so many different genres actually. So yeah, brilliant. Right, thank you for watching. If you liked this, remember to like, share, comment and subscribe to the TubeMix YouTube channel, and I'll see you next time when I'll be looking at another kids TV characters that crossed into the music business, the tweenies. So I'll be reviewing that next time. So until then, everybody, and cheers, and stay safe. Alright, cheers everybody, bye.